pee.
Do it.
Do it.
Do the pee. Do it.
Do it, Chakotay. Pee on me,
A little pee-pee for
Chakotay.
daddy. Little pee-pee. That's what I'm talking about. The company that I've been switched over to, it's already irreparably busted. It can't be used. The one thing, these three things, that doesn't work. The only thing, yeah, and I have a stick.
Just get one of those drinking birds.
The world hasn't been a meritocracy for a long, long time.
That's
I'm not
where
familiar
Mayor McCheese is in charge of everything.
And we
When
want
do we get
cheese
back to
back.
Yeah, exactly. When do we get back to that? Where I was before, I got paid based on how much I could do per minute. Now I'm not working for that company. I'm actually working for a bigger company. They don't put the same amount of stress on their employees. To make the same amount of money, I do exponentially less.
At Global News, we had a tracker app that we used to track how much work we did, minute by minute. How many pictures did I push out? How many news clicks did I contribute to today?
Yeah.
That many? Okay, cool. You were a valued employee.
Well, that's the imbalance of our professional culture, and I think a monitoring system like that is a symptom of an organization that's so bloated and has so many wasted positions that they have positions that exist strictly to point out other positions that may need babysitting, like it's all systems of validating themselves when really they're all
Zero trust.
Exactly.
And that's it. Yeah, babysitting and zero trust, those are the exact words. And then it sort of started to dawn on me. I was like, oh, wait, no, he doesn't see me as a human. He sees me as a number.
We don't want to be Japan, you know. We don't want to have a corporate culture like Japan. That's fucked up.
Oh, God. Stockholm syndrome. You know, you're born into it, so that's the way it is. But
And they don't like deviations from that culture over there. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Kind of drives me nuts when live streamers are like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what does that mean? I don't know. You got a giant dictionary right in front of you.
Downsizing is a euphemism for cuts.
Getting fired, bitch.
Feminine hygiene. Sanitary protection.
For some
Your mic just turned your voice into Neo when he takes the red pill, Ishi. So
yeah, just can I go into the mirror?
I got a case of Coke Zero beside me. I'll shoot a Coke Zero into my body.
Coke Zero chance of not developing cancer.
I'm getting all the cancer there is.
Wow. Think about how awake he'll be for that cancer. Davidson, what was the intermission music used in the latest recap?
I just have to look at the copyright claim.
This has been taken down.
The track was Welcome New Warmth. Welcome New Warmth by Michael Sardabi.
I have returned.
The party has continued pressing deeper into the mine underneath Lubenek. Whites and skeletons were the initial greeters. The party stumbled upon a magically trapped chest, a magically trapped hallway, and then a whole bunch of zombies that came in different flavors. There were large zombies, huge hulking brutes with arrows bristling out of them. There were slower shambling zombies, and then these very fast running zombies, two of which have detonated.
I am on the ceiling.
You can bite. It was now back to the top of the stack, which should be Haas.
Okay, just laying the ground here. We have one ceiling scraper here, another ceiling scraper. Oh, is this an explodey boy in here?
That's the explodey boy.
Yep.
Oh dear. Getting crowded over here.
Maybe you should punch him.
That's a fantastic suggestion, Man Spider. Haas is going to approach this ceiling scraper and just try to shove him off the bridge back into the ravine. Oh dear.
No, he digs his feet in and holds his ground. I imagine you go to shove towards him, he puts his palms out, and you guys have that Dragon Ball Z big muscly guy palm against palm.
Yeah. That's way more masculine than how I was imagining it, where Tiny Haas just like sort of puts his hands on the belly of the big skeleton and nothing happens.
He's too big.
That first attack was pretty pathetic, so Haas is just going to flurry of blows the fella, assuming one is successful. Oh my goodness. So assuming the creature's body is not vaporized, it will have to survive a strength check of 16 to avoid being pushed. We'll launch him into the middle of the ravine here.
Okay, so you deal 27 damage to him. and then you throw him into the ravine. Second time you've knocked this zombie down into this ravine.
Yeah,
So
yeah. He
you knock
climbs
him
out.
down into the darkness. There's this loud splash, and come on!
I think
Just like
my
this-
leg is broken.
The wound is
He
starting to
climbs
smell
back
again.
up wearing a fez and sunglasses.
That wound is
Um,
beginning to smell kind of like almonds.
I hear that's bad.
I'm very badly injured. I think my legs might be broken, but I'll try to stand up. Ah! Yes, they are broken.
When he says, "I'm the man who will be killing you now,"
My name is Mustafa, and I'm the man who will be killing you now.
he crashes down to the bottom of the pit.
More skellies, a fucking explosion. Holy mackerel, who knows? Thanks, guys.
Sounds good. Okay, Ibrahim, you're up. Ibrahim.
Alex drank all those fucking Coke Zeros already, and they already done him in.
he divided by 0.
Hello. Let's get smashing.
So in front of you, you have a gaunt-looking zombie with a brass cylinder strapped to
Right.
his back. Another zombie beside him. They're both clambering up the pile of bodies that Moth is standing on. Moth having to half crouch by the height of the ceiling, standing on top of the bodies. There's another large zombie taking swings at him and Berdan. And then there is another large zombie that is just coming up to get his chomp on Pitch, who is cuddled up into the crevice of the roof.
Cave tonsil.
We'll see what happens. Oh, we're gonna get smite. We're getting smitey.
Oh my god. You pulse your divine strength through the hammer, ripping and tearing his body. Ribs go asunder. The middle of his stomach spills open as this radiant energy shoots throughout him. He falls over backwards, dead.
No time to waste.
You're able to reach down and pick him up. You push through these two other zombies carrying this guy over your head like Batman with that oversized bomb. You go to hurl him in front of you. Make a straight up strength check to see how far you throw him.
I'm just imagining like the like entrails like leaving too. Like
There's ichor dripping down your arms. 16. Okay, cool. You throw him to the far side of this circle. Just as you finish throwing him, you take 14 bludgeoning damage from the big zombie. So the little one swiped at you and missed. The other one was looking like it was getting ready to attack Pitch, and as it saw you go by, it swings out its morning star and clubs you in the back. It staggered you a little bit, but just added to your momentum and throwing this bomby clear across to the other side of that magic circle.
Excellent.
Pitch.
I'm going to rapier this bitch right here.
So Pitch is on the ceiling right now, at face level with this thing, swinging his rapier in its face.
Yeah.
So you slash one of its shoulders that's exposed to you. You whip it underneath, get a quick little poke in there.
I'm going to move across the top of the ceiling behind Girder to stand on this wall.
So you
Around the
hide
monster.
behind a horrifying man spider.
At least I know it's Girder.
True.
It's true.
You've known him for like 3 days.
You've traveled, you've had some adventures with him. You saw your friend Berdan ride him when he was a horse. How bad could he be?
Yeah, exactly. He let him ride him.
Berdan is going to raise his spear and try to stab at the large zombie. Berdan sees the success of his 2 attacks and shouts out a rallying cry.
So the second Berdan finishes his attack, Moth's gonna put a knee down on the corpse that he's standing on, put both of his hands on that zombie to do shocking grasp. Try to finish that guy off. I'm gonna pass behind Berdan in the wall over to here.
He makes way for you. Come on, Greg. You've got this. You're a
Better
good
luck next
zombie.
time. Yeah, I'm gonna like
Do this.
shout an encouraging word, but like I'm also not gonna stick around and give him a second chance.
Like you're encouraging him.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, it is the zombie's turn. The large zombie takes a look around, sees Ibrahim. He's going to crowd in on you, Ibrahim. Take a swing with his morning star. 2 of them are sort of more interested in Berdan. The one that's been down in the ravine, he has to burn part of his action to get face to face with Haas. Gets ready to attack the zombie down here, whose timer on his backpack expires, and a 20-foot gout of flame erupts out of him.
Big spider boy is gonna bite the tall guy.
Your pincers are ready to go.
I'm just gonna go right for the skull. I'm just gonna like get in there.
Is that like a thing that Girder does sometimes at night? It bites people and crawls around. Haas, it is your turn once again.
Yeah, so Haas is going to do a spinning roundhouse into the side of this fella's head. Basically another shove attack. Just a
Okay.
straight up shove attack.
Yep, you push him right off the edge again. A loud splash. You
Wow.
peer over and you see him lying sprawled on the ground, arms broken, and he just gives out a long sigh. He's like trying to climb his best, pushing himself up against the wall.
So after
Ugh.
spinning roundhouse kick, knocking that guy off, Haas
Mhm.
is going to follow up by scooping up a large stone and whipping it at ceiling scraper here.
You knocked one of his already pretty hideous eyeballs out of his head. It's just dangling there now by the root. He's looking on death's doorstep, shambling around.
Haas smiles and calls out, "What now, scum?"
All right, let's take our hammer to this zombie boy.
That hits.
Let's go around the circle again. Every
That's
time
right.
I imagine the double attack, usually most nights I miss the first 4 or 5 turns. I usually imagine swinging the first one wide and then just using the momentum from the complete miss to come around and go for a more powerful one on round 2. Just smashing.
Right. So this guy, what I
Ibrahim, after clubbing into him twice, you look up, the zombie growls in your direction. It begins choking as an arrowhead is now pierced out of the front of its mouth, released from Pitch's bow. Blood splashed across your face. Berdan, he drives the spear into the open mouth of the zombie that's glowering down at him. It twitches, jerks, and goes limp on the spear. Its eyes go dead. The eyes light up in the zombie again, and it begins flailing about wildly. Berdan jerks the spear back and stabs again, this time right into the neck. His signature move. A huge gout of black ichor comes spraying out of the neck of the zombie. It is deceased. Moth, it's your turn.
Can I see the dude down here under the bridge?
You would have seen Haas roundhouse kick him off the edge. You kind of like hands on knees, bend over and look underneath the bridge. Down on the ground over there, you can see that zombie.
Moth's gonna just extend his left finger and point at it. A beam of blue light shoots out. Ray of frost.
Frigid beam of blue-white light.
Chill out,
Okay.
bro. I'm gonna still hands on knees, look up at Haas, flat smile, not showing any teeth.
Haas will give him
Mm.
a big old grin and thumbs up.
Okay, you ice up his head. Its open mouth freezes in this screaming visage, just freezes solid. Then very quickly, he leans over backwards and his head shatters as it hits a rock.
Oh, fuck.
This now
hell?
headless, half frozen body begins to wriggle and squirm on the ground.
Oh, you're kidding me. As an arcanely inclined character, I find this impressive and interesting. It's like terrifying and frustrating to see that.
Girder, it is your turn, Spider-Man.
I'm gonna scuttle over this way. I'm going to bite this guy. I'm just gonna bite him once.
Your back legs hang you off the ceiling as your front 6 come down towards him.
Whoa, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay, you know that sound when the entire orchestra is plucking their instruments randomly?
Mhm. Any moment in this shining soundtrack.
Or the X-Files.
You reach down, you grab onto him.
I just kind of like touch him a little bit.
You grab onto his middle torso, and you're holding him in place there. We've got one more zombie that has no head. His arms are broken. He stands up and kind of stumbles around in the dark uselessly. You can hear these 6 squelching. Haas, as you glance over, you can see him bump off the wall here, bounce back, and walk off in another direction. A swipe at Berdan.
Like Berdan blocks it with his chest.
Yes, this gladiator standing on a
Just takes
heap
it,
of dead
takes it
bodies.
off the breastplate. Haas, your turn.
Oh shit, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Okay, Haas is going to nod at Moth and say, finally struck, String Bean. Keep that thing in the ravine. And he is going to charge in and do a flying jump kick at this final zombie here.
That one Liu Kang flying kick from Mortal
Exactly.
Kombat 3.
Exactly.
You crash into him. He takes the force of the blow and looks like he readies himself again.
Spinning back fist. Haas is going to finish with a kick to his chest.
This is Sparta, your foot right into his chest, and it kind of gets stuck there in the rib cage. He's mostly dead.
Haas is going to hop on one foot and balance and cuss a blue streak, and that's the end of his turn.
Your leg is up so high to be embedded in his chest. Ibrahim, it's your turn.
Watch your spider legs, Gert. How is he holding him?
Spider full Nelson.
Let's,
Free shot.
Let's give him a big sack in the crotch.
Big sack in the crotch.
no matter
Lag.
what animal you be shape into, your MO is be a bully. Like
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's get him. Still standing, are ya? Now we're
Ooh,
smashing
nice.
into the crotch area.
a big hunk of flesh is torn open by your warhammer swinging through. Pitch, you're up.
And I'm gonna usher him with a rapier from my place upon the wall. I will do some damage.
Ooh,
Beautiful
there you go.
damage. Beautiful damage.
Nicely
Well
done.
done.
I'm going for the neck.
Your blade flashes out of the dim light here. Haas, you just see this razor thin reddish black line appear in the neck of the zombie. Its body moves a little bit, but the head doesn't. It just topples off to the side. The zombie falls down dead on the ground. Berdan's going to step over and peer over Pitch's shoulder and see what's going on down there. And then he gets the barest hint of a smirk. He sets his shield up just below his eyes, readies his spear above that, and charges forward underneath the legs of the spider. So he's being wailed upon by a big paladin with a hammer on one side, stabbed in the back by a fighter with a spear on the other side, and being held from above by a spidery dew. Moth, your turn.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put this guy out of his misery, like Haas requested. So as Haas runs by and does that flying kick, Moth like nod. I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast. Pew! Stay down.
Bolts of force energy wreathed in black shoot out of your hands towards it. It tears it asunder. Finally, after all that, you just absolutely plaster it against the wall. There's barely anything above its hips. It's just like a little bit of spine sticking up and then a whole bunch of goo splattered against the wall.
Rip in peace.
Girder, it is your turn.
I'm just gonna give him a bite again.
He's a bitey boy.
That's a good bite.
Let's do it again.
Your pincers go directly into its eyeballs and it dies. Silence descends on most of the cave.
Can like a spider give a thumbs up?
Berdan doesn't seem too convinced. He looks pretty worried by you scuttling above him. Has anybody seen Girder?
That's the
Berdan,
druid up there.
Everyone okay? And he sort of steps over back towards his torch and the pile of undead bodies.
It smells really bad in here.
Smells like justice in here.
Yeah, there's like a sulfur smell every time your smites go off. Just leaves
That's
like
the
this
justice.
burnt.
How fare we, comrades? Haas says as he shakes black slime off of his hands and wipes it onto his shredded gi. We've barely been in here and we're getting assaulted on all fronts.
Oh, I can say that for certain. Is anybody hurt?
Don't want to spend any longer here than we have to.
Ibrahim, need you a rest?
Oh, body's not keeping up like it used to.
Berdan.
I myself have sustained some battle damage. I am concerned about the things that lie deeper in this cave, though.
My suggestion is this. We cross this bridge, find suitable ground to sit down, and take recovery.
Pitch gives a nod.
Stringbean?
I think that would be wise.
Haas makes to cross the bridge. He will do so cautiously.
You hear a noise on the other side of the bridge. Something shuffle.
Haas will motion with his hand for his teammates to hold back while he stealthily edges forward to try to get a better look at the origin of that sound.
So you come up to a large column left there to help support this greater area that you are in. As you're crossing back, a voice in the darkness. No, come back. I was hoping that you might grant your strength to me. I want to meet you all.
Filthy magics under his breath as he heads back.
Moth's kind of interested in it. We should probably check that out.
It's that I'm seeing that GIF of from Survivor of everybody like reacting and covering their mouths, and that one guy in the back with like a big shit-eating grin. It's usually paired with the text, "That's my fetish."
Pitch, if you can keep your hands off my coin purse. Come, I'll rub your shoulders.
He's hurting real bad.
A warm red glow emanates from Ibrahim's fingers. It gently illuminates the cave around them. Pitch, you feel this warm pulse wave through you, and some of the aches and pains that you were feeling have silenced.
I will genuinely thank Ibrahim. Thank you for those healing hands. James, can we do a bio break before we go on?
Ooh, bio break. Haas heals himself up. He's going to step over to Berdan and offer him potions of healing. Haas is partial to String Bean, and Berdan's a badass, so 2 for Moth and 1 for Berdan. Is everything all right with you, String Bean? The potion's red liquid glimmers when agitated.
Berdan clips one to his belt.
So the consensus was that we were going to attempt a short rest, yes?
Actually, it was to press forward on account of a short rest, possibly incurring an ambush.
I want to see how you pass a spider a potion.
I want to see how the spider implores for the potion.
Little praying hands. I'll be a spider boy forever.
Diving bells are dangerous. Girder, perhaps you could take your cuddly form forward and scout ahead these black pits for us. Wave 2 limbs if it is clear. Wave 6 limbs if there are enemies or danger.
Click your drooling pincers.
All right, we have a system established. Piece of pie. Shepherd's pie. Goat's herd's pie.
Warm shepherd's pie and beer.
Pie. Blueberry pie.
Okay.
Pie.
So what order do you guys want to have here? Who's heading across first?
Rhubarb pie.
Goose and Grace! Goose and Grace! Fabulous apple!
Pitch and I were going to sneak forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go all forth.
Everybody roll stealth, please.
It's a stealth. Whoa, Moth. Whoa, String Bean.
I'm not the weakest chain.
String Bean, you're being exceptionally quiet. String Bean.
I can't hear you over all those spider sounds.
The clattering of my friend's spider limbs.
I've been sitting around twiddling my thumbs over here in the
Suffocating in the darkness.
hallway. Yeah.
Berdan elects to bring up the rear right now. As you are crossing the bridge, a voice says, "Seems you are here to clear out my ranks. You are more formidable than the other warriors that have come against me. Come forth." Spider Boy up top there, make a perception check for me.
8 eyes, right?
Nice. You see a singular figure that is standing on its own. A skeleton with its bow drawn, but he doesn't seem to see you.
6 legs, baby.
I'll just sort of gesture.
Pitch, make an intelligence check.
Oh my god, James. Thank you so much. It's so perfect. Ah, Jesus. Oh, Lord above.
It's pointing down the tunnel, but you don't know what it means. The spider is telling you where to go. Who wants you to go down that tunnel?
Okay, I will do so with my bow drawn. Do.
You get a glimpse of the skeleton. What do you do?
I fire my drawn bow at
Your arrow flies through the darkness, arcing out of the light that's provided by Berdan's torch and the illumination of Ibrahim's warhammer. You were able to see that the arrow impacts heavily into the center mass of the skeleton and scatters its bones across the ground. You see another 2 skeletons with crude-looking helmets on, ready for an attack. Roll initiative. I mean, it's all going to come around. It's a big wheel, right?
I love wheels.
There's definitely classes that follow other classes particularly well, I think.
Huh? What?
Nope, not too
Fireball?
much.
What? Fireball?
Fireball.
Characters who scoop up ashes with a shovel go really well after mages.
Bravo! Bravo!
God.
Fuck, I wish I had a burrito.
How high is this kind of like vaulty ceiling business?
Get
And
up
these
there,
go all-
bitch!
Listen, there are no trees. I got to figure out where I'm going.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, not
Okay.
to go hyper meta here, but D&D rules is like, oh, you got a strength of 12. You can jump 12 fucking feet. All right, so I'm going to jump 12 feet and flip upside down as I do so and land with my spider cloak on the fucking ceiling.
You got to make
Well,
an
that-
acrobatic check to flip around in the air.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nice.
I don't know about
yeah.
you guys, but this is what I'm expecting from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Meh. Why couldn't I backflip and touch the ceiling?
It'll never match this experience.
Well, this is magical.
Pitch, what you doing?
Aim his short bow again down this hallway at the skelly. 2 on the left side, 1 on the right side.
Some of the skeletons come pouring forth. The rest of the party, you see this skeleton with one of Pitch's arrows sticking out of his chest, clatter forward and fire an arrow up towards Pitch on that pillar. He's immediately joined by another skeleton who comes around this corner and takes a look at Haas, who's at the front, and he's going to fire a short bow shot at you, Haas. Ibrahim, you take a hit from an arrow fired out of the darkness.
Darkness?
This bony boy is going to run around the corner and take a shot at Haas.
God damned bonies. Mother bonying miss.
Friggin BONIES!
Do you find something funny about the word tromboner?
Moth, a arrow flies out of the darkness towards you. The arrows are raining from different skeletons coming towards you, their bones clattering. This army of dead is coming out of the darkness towards you all. Don't worry, there's one of them in every one of you.
Oh, fuck, it's Uncle Rubber. Oh my god. Oh, we're so fucked. We should start running now, but it won't help at all. Anyway.
Emerging out of the darkness, Gerder, you'll just catch the edges. A figure, another gaunt, undead-looking figure. Fine raiments that he is wearing, nonetheless worn down. He has seen the ravages of time playing across his undead body. You see him snap his fingers, Haas, and around him illuminates a circle similar to ones that you've seen thus far. His hand comes up. Which one of you has it? Ah, you, Moth. You feel this pressure on your temples. Something is beating down upon you. You can feel yourself beginning to slip away a little bit. Give me a charisma saving throw. Berdan and Ibrahim standing immediately behind him, and Haas, you whip around at the last second as well as you hear this startled. The 3 of you closest to him are able to see Moth flicker and fade, and then Moth disappears.
String bean!
So we're going to draw. As Moth disappears, the item that he was holding in his hand disappears with him, and the miasma begins to close in.
Oh, Haas gets a mouthful of shit when he does his
Oh,
dramatic
boy.
shout.
String.
I don't want to.
Bean.
Yeah, I don't want to like tell anybody what to do, but you should start drawing up a new character sheet.
Shit,
True.
awesome session, guys.
We'll just go down the mine and then we'll grab a sandwich after. We all know that Gerder would climb inside the sandwich and eat it from the inside out.
And then put his babies in the sandwich.
Oh,
Left
man.
over.
You know when you're eating a sandwich and you just take a big bite and it's just spiders? Like, I hate that.
With Gerder's face.
I can't believe it's just spiders.
I hate spiders.
I should have guessed it was just spiders. I can't believe I ate
I should have known I was eating spiders.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Love you guys. Oh, man.
Happy Tuesday.
Good.
I miss bread.
Mm.
One day I'll have bread again. Well, there's 2 gigantic spiders on my ceiling.
Love y'all.
No, you-
Hey,